Hi there friends, and welcome here my body language enthusiasts. I've noticed there is a trend that a lot of people are reacting to a lot of people, so I decided I will give it a shot as well, and I have visited like a very deadly app. I don't recommend you going there because you like spend a lot of time scrolling through that, and the app is TikTok. Like it's really a deadly app, but time consuming as hell. Like when you want to procrastinate properly, get a TikTok and you will get a lot of time killed quite effectively, if you want to say it like this. So I have TikToked some of the body language specialists, some of the body language tips that you can find there. Most of them are about attraction and about dating and how to use it in a dating life. So I have picked like 4 or 5 of them. With no further ado, I can dive into the first one. But before I do, like you can hit the like button right now, but you can do it afterwards as well. But I'd really like to ask you to do it because it will help the video to do better and it will help my channel to grow as well. So I'd like to ask you to hit the like button right now, and we are diving with the first video.
Here's a really powerful body language sign that somebody is really attracted to. I don't want to expose anybody, but it's hard to notice, so let's go. So imagine you're on a date and you want to know whether the date is going well. Look at their nostrils. If they're sitting there slightly going around you, they are trying to smell your pheromones, and it's subconscious. They can't control it. It's literally their subconsciousness telling them, let's see if we're compatible on that level.
So what do I think about that? I'm not sure how to react to that. I think that talking about the body language tip the lady gave here, like I see it could be true. I'm not sure about that the person is trying to smell the pheromones, and I'm also not sure about observing those like singular tips during the whole date, because as we know, body language is a reactive thing. You react to something, so you can't be observing anything throughout the whole time of any meeting, any date or anything like that. So you might observe that. Like maybe when you are meeting, when there is some milestone in that date, like maybe that when you hugged for the first time, that woke some sort of reaction, and this might be that reaction. And about the nostril flare and observing that, I've done the facial action coding system, which is quite extensive course on reading facial expressions. It's actually one of the most extensive courses on that by Dr. Ekman. And the nostril flare is super hard, like incredibly hard to notice. I think it's maybe harder than pupil dilation. And pupil dilation can be observed only from quite a short distance. But nostril flare is a really difficult to observe, and I wouldn't fixate my observations to nostril flares because it's really a subtle sign. It's not like single purposeful sign. You can see also that when someone is angry with you. Like I observed that quite a lot in my wife, that when we are playfully fighting about something and she tries to act like she is really hurt, she stops with a blank face, with a little bit angry face, and then she flares the nostrils. And that the sign is that like you are trying to exhale more oxygen, so you get ready for the fight when you are angry, because anger is getting ready for the fight. And generally that nostril flares are associated with those negative feelings, not necessarily with attraction. So I wouldn't go for that, but I gotta give her credit. She's an incredible actor or a person that will really get you, and you want to watch that and you want to get that tip. And I think a lot of people would believe that because he is really putting that with a confidence that I'd really love to have as well. And I'd really love to have the sort of storytelling and mystery creation around that tip. It's really basic tip and nothing really special about it after all, but the stuff around that, the sauce that she creates, it's really amazing. And that is quite common for people doing those tips on Instagram. I wish I could do it as well. But I think I'm more of an analytical and like fact-checked person than the hype creation type. So let's go to another video.
Body language secrets to read people's minds. Do you want to know how someone is feeling around you? Look at their hands. If they're hiding their hands while they're speaking with you, that means they're feeling uncomfortable around you and they don't want to engage in the conversation. If they're exposing their hands during the conversation, that means they're feeling at ease with you. They like you.
Well, there is not that much hype around it, but yet it's quite nicely done, all that TikToky thing. But the tip, I wouldn't go for it as well, and I wouldn't believe that singular interpretation. Like when you are hiding your hands, when people are hiding your hands around you, it doesn't mean that they don't want to engage in a conversation with you. I really would never interpret it like this, but it means they are uncomfortable. When you are comfortable, when you are confident, you are free to show your hands. You don't mind showing your hands and gesturing all around. But when you are uncomfortable, when you are unconfident, you tend to hide your palms, your hands somewhere, so you don't take as much space. That's a submissive body language, and one of the first people who described that was Darwin in his The Expressions of Emotions in Man and Animal. He talks about it over there. But if the people are hiding their arms, it doesn't mean they don't want to talk to you, it just means they are uncomfortable at that situation. They might feel intimidated by the social interaction, because a lot of people, especially introverted people, are intimidated by talking to people. And it doesn't mean they don't want to talk to people, they just don't know how to do it properly. They just don't feel comfortable in that situation, but it doesn't mean they don't want to be in that situation. Because every single person on the planet needs to be around people sometimes, even if it's making them uncomfortable. So that's another one, I wouldn't follow it. So if you will, you could hurt actually some of your social interactions. Let's go to the third one.
If you want to know if someone likes you or not, watch their facial expressions. There are 3 facial tells: interest, neutral, and disinterest. If you turn around and catch this person in the crowd looking at you like this, just know they do not like you. They might even try to smile to cover up the fact that they were glaring at you. This is a clear sign of someone who does not like you. They have squinty eyes. They might even cross their arms across their chest because they are super guarded to you. They have their eyebrows really furrowed. This person does not like you. Run. They might pretend to be your friend, but behind closed doors, they are talking about you behind your back. This person does not like you. Run.
Well, again, I spent a lot of time studying facial expressions and observing that. And the facial expression she is doing at the first half of the video, I would never say that it's disinterest. It's something that the person is not interested in you and hates you, basically. I have observed many really clever people that are doing exactly these facial expressions when they are listening to. Like there are some people that are really living in another world, world of clever people, of analytical people, and to be able to process everything that you are saying, they need to look at you like this. They are not really aware of the way their face is set. And if you will interpret this sort of facial expression as a disinterest, you might really hurt some of the people that are having that as a neutral facial expression or facial expression when they are thinking about something. Actually, when I'm talking to that friend, as I'm referring to, like really clever person, one of the smartest person I know maybe, and when he's looking at me like this, like the furrow brows and sort of, it looks like an angry face. I know he is paying attention to me and he's comprehending, trying to get everything that I'm talking about. And I consider that a good facial expression. There was recently a video from Ali Abdaal that I will be analyzing, by the way, so if you are looking forward to that and you like Ali Abdaal, I'll be doing like communication tips that could help him. And in that video, in the Q&A video with his ex-assistant, she is accusing him of having that resting bitch face. And that's really the same, like he is listening to people, he is being present in that moment, he just is not really aware of his face, but he likes the people around him. This is just his neutral face, not disinterest. But when she gets to the end, she's raising her left lip corner, which gets from disinterest to contempt. And that really is deadly when you see the expression that she is having by the end of the short video. You can be sure that the person doesn't like you that much and thinks that you are basically an idiot. So run from that person, not from the person who is looking at you in a sort of angry way, because it could be their baseline. And body language is really depends on a baseline of people. Because if you are not reading their baseline, the whole concept of body language is not good suit for you, because you need to really observe the baselines and then interpret the deviations from the baselines, not deviations by itself when you don't know what the neutral normal average like behavior of the person is. So I wouldn't follow that advice as well.
4 body language cues that indicate if a guy is attracted to you. First cue, his feet are pointed in your direction. Second cue, he fidgets around you. And by the way, this applies more to insecure guys, but if he's attracted to you, he might be nervous and therefore he's gonna fidget. Third cue, he finds ways to move closer to you. This is because he's subconsciously territorial and wants to minimize space between you and him. And fourth cue, when you're talking to him, he holds eye contact. Tap that plus sign to follow for more, and good luck.
That was actually really good. All the tips, I would sign them, and I would do exactly those tips as well. So really listen to that girl, because those tips were really good. People are holding eye contact when they like something. They are trying to get as close as possible. When they are insecure, they are fidgeting. I'm not sure whether I would include that in finding whether the person likes you or is attracted to you. It only tells that the person is nervous at that moment, but the feet pointing towards the person, like, I love these tips, and it's really good, actually, really good. I think I will follow her because she's really good. And the last video comes right now.
Here's one body language secret that automatically shows if someone is attracted to you. And the first time I ever heard this was from Mystery, the pickup artist. And when I heard it, I was like, there's no way that this is true. But the explanation for it is that it's evolutionary. Basically, it's hardwired into our brains. And when I went out, I actually noticed, it's like, oh my gosh, people are actually doing this. Only like 1% of the world knows this little secret. So when you're talking to people, they will actually start rubbing the back of their palm. And what I found about the theories behind this were that they rub their hands to make their hands and their neck more red, because people tend to blush when they're attracted to somebody. It shows attraction. Another one was that they want to make sure they're clean for when they're talking to somebody. They're trying to clean off their hands. And then the last is that they want to seem like they're grooming themselves for them, because that shows attraction as well.
Well, the hype in this video is huge again. I'm really not sure about the tip, like rubbing that. I believe there are like sort of tips that are really interesting to read and to know about, but in real life it's almost impossible to interpret them properly and to observe them properly and to actually find them, because I've read like a lot of books about body language and stuff like this, and only like, I don't know, 1/10 of the tips that are in those books are really observable in a real everyday life. And this is one of the tips that I feel like it's interesting to know about it, and interesting to show off with the knowing that tip, but I don't think that it really is what it is. Like when someone is rubbing their hand, I've never seen that tell other than when the person is nervous. Not sure about like the red blushing is real, but I don't see why someone would want to like fake that blushing. When you like someone, you blush naturally, you don't need to fake that. And when he says like it shows grooming gestures, but why to groom over here? Like the grooming gestures are that you are adjusting your shirt, like I'm doing right now, like I'm making my hair nice. or I'm adjusting my tie or something. Like women could be adjusting their, I don't know, dress, or putting off dust off the shoulder or something like that. That's a grooming gestures, which are showing that you care about how other people sees you, how other people perceives you. But I'm not sure whether it's like the rubbing of the back of the hand is telling that. There's like no reason why to do it, but the hype around it is awesome, and that storytelling building up to the point where he shares the tip is awesome. And again, I'd really like to have that skill to put that such a poor tip in such a huge hype. Really, how do you do that? I don't know. Like, I just guess I'd like to be as confident as this, like to feel like my tips are that great. But it's really similar like when there is a Lie to Me series, TV series, and it's based on a Dr. Paul Ekman character. And I heard Dr. Ekman talking about the series, and he's saying that it's really all like a lot of things that are in that series are truthful. But the difference is that he never have been that quick and that confident about his like discovering and about his accusation that someone's lying. Because in that show, like the Cal Lightman, you are lying, and I know it because your eye twitched a little bit. It doesn't work in real life. It doesn't work in a science in this way. And I believe like I'm more into the scientific methods that really are working, and this is sort of a TV series creating the hype and ensuring people that it really is possible when actually it's not. Like, it's possible when you are talking about it, but not possible in real life, when you like really need those you really need those skills, those practical skills, and this is not one of them, because I've been doing it a lot and a long time, and I've never heard about it, and I've never used that in my life. So that's it. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and if you want more of that, type in the comments, I want more of that, and by that I will know that you want more of that. And I think that is it. If you are interested more in some of the body language tips, that actually work, that I've been using in my life, in my everyday life, there is a list of the videos, and here is a video that the YouTube thinks that is like the most suitable for you. And if you want to be regular on my channel, here is a subscribe button, and I'll be very happy meeting you over here every week, every Wednesday and every other Saturday, and every other Sunday is being released a new video. So that's it guys, and see you next time. Bye.